All right, we are recording. All right, well, I just want to say thanks for inviting me to your home. Give me a few minutes of your time. I know this must be a super busy week for you, so I
It's
just appreciate it.
it's getting ready to ramp
It's
up.
ramping up,
Monday,
yeah.
Tuesday, because I'm home. I could walk to SAP, so I don't have to travel like most other guys do. So Tuesday is usually a pack and travel day for a lot of guys, but
Yeah,
I'm already here, so I just have to rummage through and find the rest of my gear, my cup and my mouthpiece.
yeah. Because Rory's from Canada, right? Is he Canadian? Is that where he's from?
Yes,
Yeah,
he's coming from TriStar. I think it's Toronto area, somewhere
Is
like
it?
that.
Okay. You ever been up there for fight
I
training?
think so. I was up there for a seminar years ago, and I think I was there. I went to the Jake Shields and fight, so I was there for that too.
Okay. So this happened pretty quick. Like I just kind of sent you a message on Instagram. Like I was kind of wanting to get you on here for a while just to talk to you because I'm a fan of yours. I've been watching you for a while, and yeah, I'd kind of debate. I'm like, because I get that story in my head. Like he's gonna say no. He's like, why the fuck would I want to talk to you? But I just took a chance and just hit you up on Instagram. Like, dude, can I interview? I got a podcast.
No, I've been doing a
So
lot
thanks,
of
man. I appreciate it.
no problem. I've been doing a lot of interviews with a lot of people, so just goes to tell you, don't be afraid to ask.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm also trying to get into the podcasting and whatever the space also. So I think practice and just talking to a lot of people is good. It's good to network and learn new technologies and new things that other people are using that I haven't seen or heard of. So it's So I'll just cool experience.
Yeah, that's been one of my biggest life lessons of recent has just been getting past that initial fear. Mm-hmm. Like I was saying before, like
approaching anxiety.
yeah.
It's kind of what it is. Yeah.
Well, I mean, because it's just taking a risk, just reaching out to you. I'm like, well, he's either going to say no, or he's not going to respond, or he's like, yeah, let's fucking do it. So it's just taking that risk, and I think that's where a lot of people fall short with their dreams or ambitions. Absolutely. Is taking that step to just caution in the wind. You got nothing to lose. So that's one of the big lessons.
It goes on the other side too. It's like, why say no? It's one thing if I'm busy, if I just can't do it, if it doesn't work out, or sometimes if people come across rude or just the way they're asking is off,
or what their intentions are or something.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, I don't know. There's a way to approach, but I mean, it goes both ways, and I mean, getting into the space where I'm trying to do some podcasts and stuff, like I want to have to be able to do that myself.
Yeah.
So if I shut everybody down, it's not
you dick.
I'm not talking to you, and then turn around and then try to get an interview with somebody else.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. Doing this podcasting thing's been great for me, because if I had just reached out to you and I didn't have a podcast, I say this all the time, you'd be like, why don't you come to my house? I don't know who you are. But when you have a podcast, then you'll benefit, I'll benefit. Yeah. So it works out good. So.
Anybody watching can benefit.
Yeah, for sure. So I had sent you a photo. Did you recognize where that photo was from?
Yeah, it was was it Concord UFC opening? Yes, I do remember.
Yeah, that was like, I think 9-10 years ago now.
It's a while ago, yeah, when they just first opened over there.
Yeah. Now, do you get paid for doing promotional stuff like that? Did they pay you or no?
No.
They're just like, hey, do you want to show up?
Like, no, you need to show up. I might have gotten $50 per diem, maybe.
Now, was Dana there? He was there, right? I can't remember. I don't want to say Chuck Liddell was there too for a second.
Chuck might have been there. Chuck probably got paid though.
I know Brandon Vera was there.
Koscheck was there. There's a number of us there.
Yeah,
because they were just opening up. But it's one of the things it's one of the complaints that we've had is, Roger Herta was complaining about this back in the day a lot too. Is like they were flying him all over the place, making him do all these appearances, and like we're not getting paid. Like, if we were lucky, we got per diem. We got $50, or we get gas money to drive there.
Now, is that a stipulation in your contract that you have to do promotional stuff?
Is that part of it? It's part of what we have to do. So they demand us to do these things, and it's bullshit because we're not employees,
right?
And like they're making money. Like they would fly us somewhere to do like a Budweiser appearance at some event, and they're making $50,000-$100,000 from Budweiser for the event,
right?
And they're paying us $50 to be there. Like, I mean, we got a free plane ticket and a hotel. But at the same time, like, we could be at home teaching private lessons or spending time with our family or something. But no, we're flying across the country to make the company money.
More money, yeah.
Yes. It's just one of those things. We're independent contractors. We should get paid for our work.
Yeah. Like, I just recently realized that you got some kind of lawsuit going against UFC about this kind of stuff. So I don't know all the details about it, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, we filed a 2014, I think. We filed a class action lawsuit, antitrust lawsuit, and we are having evidentiary hearings start in August. So it will be the experts, the economic experts on both sides, their experts and our experts, will be examined in front of the judge by the lawyers, so the judge can determine who's full of shit, who's telling the truth. And then I think they're also planning on questioning Joe Silva.
Okay. And is that going forward? Is that you expecting changes within the infrastructure itself, or?
Well, I mean, if we win the case, then that will force them to do business differently, because as soon as the case is over with, another group of people can file another lawsuit. So they can keep getting hit with these class action lawsuits. And since it's federally legal to have a monopoly and to do what we believe they're doing, it pays out treble, which means where the lawsuit's like a $1.2 billion lawsuit, they would have to pay 3 times that in damages. And the judge would decide how the money's split up. The lawyers would generally, they take around 21% for the time they've put in, the money they've put into it. And then the judge would decide how that money would be cut up between the fighters that fought from 2010 up to present day.
Yeah. I always wonder about that, like how fighters got paid. So you got this big fight coming up this weekend for a title shot. Do they cut you a check right after the fight's over? Do they give you anything in advance so you can train? And
the money goes to it's supposed to go into escrow, and the commission hands us the checks afterwards. We get checked by the doctors, and then they hand us our checks.
So that night you get paid.
Yeah.
Now, do they give you advance beforehand? So you can.
Some situations you can. They gave me an advance because it was a year in between my last fight. So to help me out and be able to train or whatever, I get a pound. But I have to sign off saying, like, if I don't fight, if I get injured, like, I owe you a fight or I got to pay the money back.
Right.
Yeah. Which, I mean, is fair.
Yeah.
See, I got hurt. I can't fight. I'm gonna keep the money.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it. I already spent it.
You advance me. What do you mean I have to pay it back?
Yeah. I always wondered too how actors got paid. Like, did they get paid after the movie comes out? Did they get paid weekly? Like, I always wondered how that worked.
I think they probably get a lump sum, and then I don't know if it comes after. They have to make something as they're doing it, I would think.
Right. Yeah.
Something up front, something after, and then they get their royalties. So you might get a 25-cent check every 6 months or something, or bigger money depending on how much the royalties are and how much it's selling.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. That'd be something fun. I'd like to try acting. Done with this fighting people, just to try it, just to see what it's like.
Go the Gina Carano route. Do some.
Well, I've done reality stuff, and it's pretty much acting.
Right.
Like you're acting like yourself, but like they do the same scene. You'll shoot the same scene a few times. Like, okay, can you do that again? But this time you need to look up because you were your back was the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Like I learned that I did the Mythbusters show, and I learned from there that that's kind of how it was, because they only had one camera guy, like one sound guy. So like you would be ad-libbing the conversation, but then they'd have to do the close shots.
Right.
So then they're like, okay, so start the conversation over again. Like, what? So you have to remember like what you just ad-libbed.
Yeah.
Because now they're doing a tight shot of this guy, and they're like, okay, well now we got to get a tight shot of this guy. So you do it 4 times. You do the wide shot and then one of each person. So it's like, oh man.
It's a lot more work than I thought.
Yeah, like way more work than it's not documentary. A documentary is they're just fly on the wall following you, and if it happens, it happens. If they catch it, they catch it. If they don't, they don't. Like reality TV is not reality.
Yeah.
It's bad acting.
Well, because I just realized, I totally forgot you're on the first season of Ultimate Fighter, right?
I was supposed to be.
Oh, I thought you were. No,
I got left at the airport.
Oh.
I was getting ready to go fly to Vegas, and they called me and told me not to get on the plane.
Why? Because you're just running late, or they decided they didn't make the cut?
No, yeah, they cut 2 or 4 more guys right before last minute, and I was a day or 2 ahead of the other guys coming or something. So
Gotcha.
They said they reformatted the show and we don't need you any longer. I was like, what? I was like, I'm at the airport, man. Like my bag's on the plane. I quit my job. And they're like, oh, well, sorry.
Sorry about that.
They didn't really say that. They don't think they said sorry at all. Oh, well, okay. Bye. Like,
Yeah, so that picture that I had sent you, because the reason I was at the UFC gyms because I was a personal trainer at the time, so I kind of wanted to start working there as a personal trainer to get my foot in the door with the UFC, because I had aspirations of training fighters, be like a strength and conditioning coach or something. And I was taking jiu-jitsu classes at the time with the guy. He's got his own academy. He tried to get into Ultimate Fighter, but he just never made the cut. But he was a teacher there at the UFC gym for a little bit too. Alexander Crispin. I don't know if you know who he is. He's got an academy in Pleasanton. But yeah, so that's what kind of led me to go there. And I just gotta give mad respect to you guys and your conditioning, your strength training, and just the endurance, because I thought I was in pretty good shape before I took the jiu-jitsu class.
Yeah.
3 to 5 minutes rolling on the mat, man. I was shaking. You know, I like very humbling. I'm like,
it's kind of like, I mean, it's kind of like swimming. Like, because you can stand, most people are used to walking around and being on their feet, so you can throw punches and stuff pretty well. But like to grapple, like, you know, you could do stand up stuff for like 15, 20 minutes, no problem. But then, you know, 3, 4 minutes of grappling, it's a completely different story.
Oh, yeah, it's different.
It's kind of like with swimming. Like you could be able to run a mile or run a marathon and be in pretty good shape, but then you got to swim a few laps and you're just like,
yeah,
done, because you're using so many more muscles and
yeah.
I think your breathing, it's more involved.
Yeah. I did a triathlon once, and you know, swimming's not my strong suit. And yeah, by the end, I was dog paddling out of the water. Yeah, swimming will definitely tax you for sure. So this fight that you have coming up with Rory, it's going to be this Saturday. This is going to be a huge fight for you. Man, what a rookie maneuver! I didn't even turn my phone off. So this is a huge fight for you. I mean, on so many different levels. It's a title shot. Obviously, you're not getting any younger as a fighter because you're what, 41 now. So
it's hard to say. It's hard to hear.
yeah. What was it? So, what does this fight mean for you as far as your? Because I've seen the word legacy getting thrown around. I mean, this is a defining fight for you, no?
I think it's a great opportunity to add to my legacy, but I think my legacy is great as it is. Like, you know, I don't want to sound ungrateful in any way, but like,
yeah.
I had a great run. My life's been awesome. You know, through all the trials and tribulations, I'm still here. I'm still going. I've got goals and things for the future outside of the fight game. You know, life's good. This is just a great opportunity to do something awesome, and I'm going to make the most of it. But you know, it's not going to make or break my. It's not like, oh, I lose the fight and that's trash. Everything's trash.
Yeah.
What a waste. No, it's like this is like just bonus time.
Yeah. Well, how do you deal with the added pressure of going into a fight that potentially could be a game changer? How do you deal with your anxiety or fears?
I mean, well, with dealing with anxiety, I think visualization is one of the best things you
Yeah, I was
can
gonna
do.
say, yeah.
You know, putting yourself in the position and walking yourself through all the details of it repetitively. Not just the good things, but go through the bad things. You know, the van's late, you show up late to the arena. You know, things like that.
That could fuck you all up. Yeah.
Because like when I fought
Superstitious,
my last WSOF or PFL fight, we showed up and we were supposed to fight, you know, after the race. Well, it rained and they canceled the race. So like, all right, well, we're doing it now. So like, they were like, we got 15 minutes to get ready and get the first fight going. You're like, oh. We were supposed to have like 2 hours before the first fight started. So like, okay. And then I gave a little pep talk in the tent, our tent. I was like, come on, guys, we're professionals. We've done this before. Let's go. Let's get it done.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was like, you know, you have to kind of get those things sorted so that if something does come up, like, you know, your body has the same, your neurons like fire the same, whether you're in deep imagery or actually doing it. So if you can imagine the situations, you get comfortable with them. They get to be like old news.
That's not a surprise. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a surprise. And the anxiety stems mostly from the unknown. So if you kind of know it already and your body's already felt it, you're not going to freak out as much about it. It's like, oh, well, I kind of was here already. Almost like you're forcing yourself into a deja vu situation.
Yeah. So you've already gone through
it.
You've already seen your hand getting raised. Like you can visualize all that.
And I've seen myself being put in a deep submission. I've seen myself get knocked on my butt and have to get back and fight back.
Right.
I've seen myself get my butt kicked for 4 rounds and then I turn it around in the 5th round. And you just have to be prepared for anything that might come up.
Yeah. 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 Do you do like any kind of meditation, or like you said, visualization, any kind of meditation or anything like that?
My meditation comes from high intensity cardio.
Right. People can
So,
meditate running. Yeah. Different ways to
so
do it.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, because like when you get to the point where you're exhausting yourself, there's just you and your breath, like especially on the Aerodyne bike. Oh, this Aerodyne bike workout. You're so exhausted that if you let your mind wander to go somewhere else, like you're gonna think about being tired. So like all you can do is just think about in, out, in, out.
Yeah.
And then sometimes, I'll have my numbers that I want to hit because I want to keep that pace. So like it's just focusing on the breath and focusing on that number. So you just visualize the number. And then if I really want to get fancy with it, I can get myself into visualizing the fight and sequences in the fight while I'm doing that hard cardio. Um, but yeah, it's one of the best ways for me to meditate. I also do um, anything that I call lateral drift. Anything that can initiate lateral drift is where you occupy your body, your hands, in kind of your forebrain, but then your back brain's allowed to kind of like just go where it needs to. So I
Yeah.
do like some
Like journaling.
sculpting with my I have a Dremel and I carve stones and
Okay.
whatever. So like kind of that takes some time. So like I'm doing something simple that doesn't take a lot of thought, and it just allows me to kind of zone out and transcend somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, if you there's people out there who say like if you get in like into the quantum theory realm kind of things, like they say if you can imagine a future like a manifestation, then it's already existed somehow in the quantum world.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's just a matter of you putting the steps forward to make that
Yeah.
reality become real. So
Yeah.
I don't know how much you believe in that stuff, but
I mean, there's definitely something to it. I don't know if that means there is another universe that sprung up
right,
and existed
yeah,
because I thought that. But like, no, I mean, it's planning. It's part of our evolution as a species. Is that's what kind of separates us from other beings is that we can plan for the future. We can say, hey, if I put these nuts away and hide them,
right,
I can do something with them later. If I don't eat this stuff right now and I save it, I'll have it later to eat later. So um, even some of the ideas behind religion and sacrifice, the idea that I can sacrifice some of this now in order to reward myself with other good things later.
yeah, yeah. I was looking on some stuff online the other day, and I was just watching some MMA news stuff, and Rory's coach doesn't seem to have high
Hmm.
opinion of you very much. That son of a bitch is a cheater, blah blah blah, this and that. I'm like, why?
Yeah, I don't
It sounds
know.
like he's getting an excuse for his fighter if he loses, and it's like, oh well, he was doing something. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like,
it sounds like it, but I don't know. Be in his bonnet. I don't know what his deal is.
do you pay attention to that shit, or you just
I
kind of shut
don't.
that out? Don't
Yeah, I don't
before a fight,
care.
just don't
Like,
want that in
yeah,
your
you
head.
can't go through your life caring what other people think.
Yeah,
You're your own judge and jury. You got to live with yourself. I've talked a lot about that period of my life quite a
yeah,
bit in my live streams. I do something I call the shake break.
yeah.
I do live streams just about every day. I'm gonna start doing them in a podcast form too, so I can put them up and people can listen to the audio.
Nice, nice.
I just got to get around to doing it. But yeah, I've been really open with it, so it's kind of old news to me, and I really don't care what other people are saying about me.
Right,
there's
right, right.
there's 7.5 billion people in the world. Like you're not gonna get very far if you care what people think.
Yeah, yeah. Like I don't know the details of that whole situation or scenario, but for me personally, I used to drive race cars every weekend. We cheated every night. We were there to fucking win. You know what I mean? You got your rules. That's fine. Okay, great. But I'm there to
No,
win. So
yeah, no, I rationalized to myself after getting cut with the UFC that it was a good idea to do what everybody else was doing,
yeah,
and it was a disaster. The whole process was a
yeah,
disaster.
yeah,
Of yeah, I didn't see any benefit from it. I
yeah,
saw more of a deterrent because I must have been doing something wrong. There was a lot of pain from injections, and yeah, I was not was not
yeah,
better for doing it.
yeah,
I looked better. I could eat whatever I wanted to and be ripped, but that's about it.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was funny. We used to race out there, and I can't prove it, but everybody was cheating because it was funny. Like at the last race of the season, we're all sitting in the pits drinking beers, bullshitting, whatever. Because we were friends, we'd help each other out. We're competitive,
Hmm.
but someone's car broke down, we'd go over and help them so they get in the race and stuff. So it was competitive, but it was friendly. And then after after the last race of the season, all sitting in the pits and everybody's popping their hoods like, yeah, I was doing this, I was doing that. Like, you son of a bitch. But that's what people do. You're competitive, you want to win, but everybody's different. So I got a random question for you. Zombie apocalypse. What's your weapon of choice? I'm gonna go with shotgun.
Yeah, but you're gonna run out of ammo and it's loud, so you're gonna draw attention. So I've got a recurve bow, and I'll go with that first. Um, yeah, just because it's quiet.
Well, see, there's a guy on The Walking Dead who's got the crossbow, Daryl.
Crossbow, yeah.
See, that just doesn't seem like the reload time.
Reload
and
time would be,
like
yeah.
wouldn't be very efficient.
So you'd need, so I think you'd need something more ranged and powerful, like a shotgun.
Assault rifle.
I have
Assault rifle.
Assault rifle. I have a Blackout 300.
What is that?
300 Blackout. It's a it's built like AR, but it shoots the AK-47 round.
Okay.
But it has the AR magazine, so it's like
Gotcha.
the larger bullet and the smaller shell. So it's like a modified shell, and it's really fun to shoot because like when you hit the target, it's like you hear the like boom, you hear that lead hit the metal hard.
Yeah.
So it's California legal, so it kind of sucks, but like you can get it with a shorter barrel and a suppressor, and like it's like you can barely hear it. And then you hear the sound of the lead hitting is a lot harder than the whatever the shot of the bullet. And then you can play with the grain of the bullet, so you can go close range more for close quarters, or you can go lighter grain and shoot further. So you can kind of get 2 in 1 with the same rifle.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you.
So I think that would be my zombie apocalypse one, because then you get stopping power close, but then you can also have enough range to snipe at the same time, and you could get the suppressor on it, and you're really in business.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you if you're a pro gun, because that's something that in my life just recently I'm like, I haven't done anything for preparedness or just for natural disasters. Like, not going full bore prepper, but like I hadn't even thought about that. Like, we
have an earthquake, and like
especially right here.
The food supply, there's so many people around. The food supply is going to be gone within a week or two. We can't get stuff in, so it makes me nervous in the apartment. Like I had a house with a garden before, at least I could grow something. But that's why I have ammo. I got ammo. I can go and I can get what else I need if I have the ammo.
Yeah, that's something I need to start focusing on. I mean, I think we have water at our house, but just for like a natural disaster, an emergency, because I'm gone on the road 4 days out of the week for my job. So if something happens, my wife and kids don't have anything on hand. So
I have some filter straws. So like how filter.
Oh, you're right.
And then I need to get that. Like you can buy little survival packs,
like a bug out bag and all that stuff. Yeah.
They'll have dried food and different things.
Oh, right.
They have them for sale, and I've seen certain places.
Yeah.
Pick it up online, and then you're ready. 1 week, 2 week, whatever, just in case.
Yeah. That's what I need to focus on. Now, do you do anything special for after training for like recovery? Do you do any like alternative stuff like acupuncture? Do you mess around with any of that stuff? Crystals? You lay with crystals on top of you or anything weird?
The most important thing for recovery is rest. So I try to do my best to get anywhere from 25 to 45-minute nap after my lunch. So I have a training at noon, I eat lunch, and then I try to force myself to lay down and just take a nap. You're going to get more out of that rest time than just about anything else. But a lot of people skip it. Oh, I got stuff to do. I have this to do. Just make yourself get the rest. Make yourself lay down. Close your eyes. Even if you don't fall asleep, close your eyes. Just lay down.
Right.
You could do some of your visualization. Even maybe you could read. That's maybe permissible, but just don't move for like 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
And then I do this camp I did once a week. I had a physical therapist come over to the house, and she would do a 2-hour workout. She would stretch me, and then work out the muscles and the issues that I was having.
Yeah. You mess around with like colonics or enemas, any of that kind of stuff?
I never did the colonic, never did enemas at all. I have done, like work in the sauna can be good. The far red and infrared saunas, the cryotherapy, the freezing, I think can be good too. But I think you have to have access to it. Where like with all the stuff I read about the cryotherapy is they did 10 days or 20 days in a row.
Consistency,
yeah, consistency. So like you don't have the consistency or the access or the money to go every single day. I don't know if you're really getting that much out of it. So
right.
you know, cold showers can help a little bit, help with
Inflammation,
and cortisol levels. So that can be good.
Yeah. How do you do your diet? Do you try to do like plant based or anything, or are you just
No, I tried the vegan thing years ago, and it was kind of a disaster.
didn't work? Yeah,
Uh,
that's
and
weird. For some people it works, some people it doesn't.
I think your energy output and what you're doing matters.
Right.
So for me, like fighting and training as much as I was, I needed muscle mass. So that was one of the problems. Is I thought it worked right away because I changed my diet all up, but like I'd quit eating processed foods.
That processed shit.
Right.
Yeah.
So I started more organic, more vegetables, more whole foods, and that switch is what probably was the good benefit. But then after a point, I started just losing mass and losing size, and then I started getting injured. And then it became too overwhelming to go to the store every 2 days to get fresh food because stuff would get raw or rotten. And then you got to graze and eat all day long. So like it was.
You have to get the calories in.
Yeah, it's hard to get the calories in, and then we had started having kids, and then that became difficult to prepare their separate food and then ours.
Yeah. Yep.
And then you're eating all day, and then it was just like a handful. And then I started just losing too much weight and then craving meat too much. So I started eating 4 ounces of meat on the weekend, and then that stemmed into my weekday vegan thing, which lasted a few months, which lasted a while, but where I would be free to eat whatever meat I wanted to on the weekend, and that worked pretty well for a while. But I still wasn't, you know, where I am right now, and I went back to eating normal, but I was eating all whole foods again.
Yeah.
So I was eating the meat and the whole foods, and my weight went back up. But then sometimes I get a little bit pudgy, and then I'm diet 210. I hit at the board. That's danger zone. 210 is danger zone because it starts getting too far away from 170. So then I'm ballooning up a little bit in between fights up to 210, and that wasn't good. So then I started 2016. I started more of a bodybuilding diet, which was more meals throughout the day. So I started eating 6 meals a day. And this is the diet I've been on since. I've changed a little bit around with increased fat and lower carbs, but I'd eat 6 meals a day, and 2 of them were shakes. So that I found the most beneficial because I could get the protein in, lifting weights, keep my mass high, keep my body fat low. So my body composition was great. I didn't get too ballooned up. I barely would get past 205 ever. I was usually around low 200 or 199, and I just felt better. Energy levels were good, and then I could get cheat meals here and there on the weekends. And it just worked a lot better for me.
Yeah, and you mess around with some supplemental stuff like.
I was having a lot of neck problems. So ever since like 2011, I started having a lot of neck issues.
Yeah, I got that too from driving, just too much driving.
And then there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. I mean, just like posture. Just thinking about it, I already correct my posture.
Yeah, no, I'm like,
because like you gotta pull that that subscapes back and down, and then because we get rounded here, and that's bad for the discs and everything. So just correcting that's just one of them. And then so like I started working with this guy, William Vandry. He's out of Austin, Texas, and he gave me a list of supplements and exercises and stuff to start doing to fix my neck because I was about ready to be done and retired because I couldn't deal with it. I couldn't sleep. Yeah. My hand was tingling, numb all the time. I had a number of bulging discs. I had to get a couple cortisone shots in my spine, and I just was tired of that and started working with him. He started having me to eat coconut oil. I ate a spoonful of coconut oil every day. He put me on a long list of supplements, and my health started coming back. And the idea is that your body can heal itself. Exactly. You just have to
get out of the damn way.
Yeah, you have to provide. We have to provide the resources. So it's like you can't tell a bunch of builders to build a house, and then you don't give them any nails. You don't give them any wood.
Right.
How are they going to do it? Like they have the capability of building the house, but you have to give them the supplies to do it. So that was a part of what the supplementation was that he was doing, was he was giving my body the ability to heal itself. He was giving it the supplies.
Yeah. I think the problem just within society in general is just obviously one, eating the wrong foods and eating way too much of the wrong foods.
Eating the wrong foods, eat way too much of the wrong foods, and then we're bombarded with so many chemicals and pollutants that we don't ever rid from our body that block nutrient absorption. And that was one of the things that he had me do was like with coffee. He had me stop drinking coffee an hour before and after meals because there's fiber in the coffee, and then you drink that and it binds the nutrients, and then you pass it through your system. He had me, I stopped with the chocolate protein powder. I have unflavored, unsweetened. It's gross, but it doesn't have anything extra in it. Protein powder, because the protein powder too, like the fiber from the chocolate, is going to bind to your nutrients, and you're going to pass it through your system. So you're wasting money. You're not getting what you need out of it. I was eating a lot of brown white rice for a while. Same thing. Brown rice has a shell. It's fiber that binds to your nutrients, and then you pass them through your body. And then he started having me take some things that would clear out the heavy metals, and filtered water, and putting this Alchemax, I think, droppers in there, and I would put the
like a binder,
salt also.
A binder or something.
Yeah, so because a lot of times the filtered water it's dead water. It has all the nutrients and minerals filtered out of it.
Right.
So you gotta put them back in now.
I know. It's just
that's society we live in. You can't just drink normal water and have minerals, because we have to filter it first, and then the filtering process strips everything you need out of it. So you got to put that back in.
Yeah. We live in crazy times, dude. Just the shit that we're doing. And,
but I mean, like I'm convinced that the stuff that he's been having me on works, because I felt it for myself, and then I don't know. I feel like he had me start taking this stuff called what is it? Zinc balance, and it's a balance of zinc and copper. And I was taking it for a while, and then people started noticing that my gray hair was going away. And he was like, "Oh, that's because of the zinc balance."
Shit, I need some of that. You're pointing your beard.
I'll show it to you. But the idea is that we need zinc in our body, but if we have too much zinc in our body, it will pull the copper out, and the copper supposedly is responsible for the pigment in our hair.
Okay.
So if we're putting zinc in our body, and it could, our body needs zinc, it could be not balanced with the copper, so you're pulling it out of your body. So it could lead to grayer hair earlier.
Yeah.
It could also be a lot of genetics too, but like I had a definite notice of gray, especially in the beard, of going away.
Yeah, just show me that. Yeah. All right, we got to start getting close to wrapping this up. So I didn't do my due diligence as a podcast interviewer person, because I didn't realize you had a book that just came out recently, and so it would have been good on my part to get the book and read it, so I kind of talk to you about it. But so, what was the catalyst for this book that just came out?
Because
it was some journals or something you had, right?
Yep, I started keeping journals in 2000.
Your diary? You got a diary journal?
Got a diary. Yep. I had a coach head coach at Purdue, gave us all a journal if we wanted one, and said this would be a workout journal. This is really good for accountability. Write down your workouts, keep track of things, keep track of your weight, keep track of what you're eating, that type of stuff. So I did that for a summer because I had a really bad season, and it helped. It really helped. It got me on track, kept me accountable, and when the next season started, I kind of put it away because I kind of had developed such good habits, training habits and behavioral habits from that accountability. I kind of put it away and forgot about it. But then when I was in grad school, I found it. I stumbled across it again. I was getting ready to move to California, and I was like, you know what, I should start documenting this, start writing these things down, and it worked so well for me last time. I really wanted to commit myself to martial arts and this whole journey, because it was nobody really knew what was going on. Nobody was making money at it. I was fighting for hundreds of dollars, but I wanted to just commit myself to it, just because I felt like I was on this adventure, living a real life like movie. Like video game. You're gonna drive across the country and travel and study martial arts and fight in different countries, and I was like, man, that's really cool. I should document this, because it might be a good story someday. And then I decided to share it recently, because I wanted to go through the journals again and kind of reconnect with that mindset and that attitude that I had before. Like, I was poor, struggling.
You're hungry.
Hungry. And I just loved what I was doing. I was probably the happiest time of my life is that first couple years that I moved to California. you know, sunny most of the time. Like it was, you know, the beach was a half hour away. Had me and my English bulldog. It was just, it was a great time. So I wanted to kind of reconnect with that. And then I had been through so much in the last, you know, 6 years or so. No, probably more. Yeah, 6 years or so. And I had dealt with depression and other things, and I kind of wanted to just kind of re-examine my life and then see if I could find where things kind of went wrong, and then
Right.
if I could find you know, kind of find answers and just
Maybe a common thread or a theme going through everything.
It kind of turned into therapy for me, basically. And I was like, well, you know, there's a lot of probably other people who have uh, experienced similar things. So like, yeah, so other people might be able to read this stuff and and learn something from it at the same time. So I can benefit from it, and I can maybe help other people with it. So I just started doing it, and have book 1 out, Failing Upward Death by Ego, and then it's going to be in a series because I have 4 journals that I intended to share. I have a 5th one that it's just started recently, and yeah, it's a lot of work to do. Yeah, because the second book is not even really started, but I need to force myself to just sit down and write. But it seems like the summer is going to be all about fights, because the next fight, I win this fight. The next fight is June 14th. And then
is it that quick? Oh, wow.
Yeah, 6 weeks. And then the next fight is supposed to be, the final is supposed to be in September. So it's going to be bang, bang, bang fights. So this year, it may be difficult to get the book out.
Yeah.
But it'll be all right because I win the tournament. I'll have some money to like just sit and write afterwards.
Yeah. So when you do win this fight, so who's next on the list? Who do you?
Neiman Gracie won his fight in the tournament, so he's waiting for the winner of this one.
Okay. Now you just said something I got to ask because my son wanted me to ask. You said something about video games. So you got scanned into a video game, right? Aren't you on the UFC? Yep. So how did that work? Did they do like a facial scan? Is that what they did? Or?
The first one, it was like they scanned the face and they took pictures of all the tattoos and stuff. And then the second one, they had a full body.
Is this another thing you didn't get paid for? You got $50 for this too?
Yeah, no, we didn't. I got fired for this, the first one.
Oh shit!
Because they wanted my identity. They wanted the rights to my identity and image for eternity for no money. And I said, no. I was like, can we change it to 20 years? Because I don't know what's going to go on in 20. I don't know what's going to happen in 20 years. And they fired me. It was right after the GSP fight. Wow. And then, that was a whole ordeal. And they ended up giving us like a little bit of money as a thank you, but it wasn't an official payment. I think now they might be paying them.
Yeah.
But it's still not. It's not like in the NFL. They talk about their Madden checks, because they get a good piece of you know, the players are going to make 50% of that because it's their identities. They're the ones that people are buying the game for.
Yeah. Where's my Mayweather money, man?
Where's your UFC paper? Where's your UFC whatever video game money?
Yeah. Was it a fun process though? I mean, just doing it.
It was cool, but yeah, it was still, you know, it stung at the same time. It's because like, yeah, you're in a video game, you're doing this stuff, but at the same time, you're not being paid for it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's exploitative, yes.
Yeah.
Like they're saying, oh, we're giving you the opportunity to make us a bunch of money by us using it.
Mamacita needs new shoes. Yeah, so where's that money?
Yeah, it's not American. It's not American. It's not a free market. We deserve to be paid market value for our worth.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, you know, like I'm not gonna whine and complain, be like, pay me more, pay me more. I'm gonna say I should have the right to earn my market value.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we'll get you out of here. One last question. So your fight's Saturday. Yep. Mentally prepared? I mean, I'm gonna ask the typical MMA question.
Yeah.
So how was your camp? You prepared? You ready?
Camp was great. I feel ready, mentally ready. My mind is mostly on weight right now. You know, I drink a little bit more coffee this week because I don't want to think about my meals. I go from 6 meals down to 3 meals, and I cut out the carbs up until after weigh-ins.
Because the weigh-in's Friday?
Friday morning.
It's Friday.
And then I'll start eating again. When I reintroduce the carbs, I'll jacked. It's another one of the like bodybuilding things. But yeah, I'm excited. It'll be fun. I'll cook some meat and some stuff tonight for the rest of the week, and then I have cardio tonight. More of a weight loss cardio. I'll put sweats on and get out over here, and I can see SAP out the window, you know, as I'm doing my cardio. It's cool.
So the work's done, the mental work's done, the physical work's done, and now it's just
It's party time. Just make the weight, have fun.
awesome. Are you friendly with Rory at all? You guys
I don't know him.
don't know. No.
You know, I mean, seems nice enough. You know, he said hello politely when we had
Yeah.
our stare off or whatever. But like, I don't, you know, I don't put too much into the other guy. He's just a body. It's more of a fight with myself.
You watch a lot of tapes of their fighting. Just to
I
kind of
watch a little bit, but I think people
it changes so much.
overdo it.
Yeah, you could be anticipating something they did a couple years ago, and like their style is completely
the
different now.
same.
So yeah.
Well, I mean, when you're fighting, you need to focus on what you need to do.
Right.
It's not so much about reactionary. If
Yeah.
things are too fast to be reactionary, set the pace. You put them in your world, and you make them adjust to you. That's the way I've done things my whole career, and that's, you know, pretty much every fight it's gone that direction. You just, I don't know. It's not a good idea to sit and wait for people. It's giving them too much an opportunity to get off or create momentum.
Right.
Take the momentum, seize the momentum, and keep it.
Right. Right. Awesome, dude. Well, I wish you the best of luck, man.
Excellent.
So now this one's not going to be on Spike, right? So how do people?
DAZN. So
Okay.
you need it's a subscription service. You can get the app or go online to search for DAZN.
Okay.
DAZN, and you pay monthly. But they have Bellator. They have another South American fight company signed with them. They do a lot of boxing on there. Canelo, I think, is signed with them. So you can see the Canelo fight, I think, next weekend.
Okay.
I think that is. And then they also just did a deal with Major League Baseball. So there's going to be a lot of baseball games on that too. I don't watch a lot of baseball, but I get the opportunity to go. I'm supposed to be going to the A's game tomorrow morning and throw out the first pitch.
Oh, nice.
Which is I haven't thrown a baseball in a long time.
You're probably more nervous about that.
Yeah, because I don't want to not. Yeah, I don't want to not get it to the plate. I don't want to hit the ground. I hope I get a few tries first.
Yeah.
90 feet is.
That's pretty far.
It's not a small amount of space. Yeah.
Right.
Maybe I'll just aim at the mascot on purpose.
Yeah, do something funny. And so your book's on Amazon. They can get that on Amazon.
By Jon Fitch, Jon-Fitch, Failing Upward, Death by Ego.
And is that documentary still out there somewhere?
Yes, it's on Amazon Prime.
Is it okay?
Such Great Heights.
Okay,
so
cool.
you can check that out. Actually, I got some posters. I can give you a poster if you want.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I asked about that last time we met. It hadn't come out yet. You're like, I don't know. I'm still waiting. So.
Yeah, well, we learned a hard lesson in entertainment businesses. It's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. So we should have just put the movie out with the video footage that we wanted and let them sue us. Right, that way it was already out there, and then they would take the fee through litigation rather than us asking to pay for it. Yeah. It's like, we want to buy these 2 minutes of video from you. We should have just used it and let them sue us for it, and then that would have been the way we got the footage in the video. So, live and learn.
Sweet. And then people want to follow you, the best way is Instagram?
Instagram, Jon_Fitch_smash, JonFitch.net on Twitter, and I have a YouTube channel, Official Jon Fitch, where they can come in and stop by the Shake Breaks, my live streams, and ask questions. I answer a lot of questions, talk to a lot of people.
Sweet. Awesome. Well, thanks, man.
Right,
Good luck.
Oh, I also have a Patreon, patreon.com/Jon Fitch, where I have technique videos, and sometimes I'll put my blog posts and stuff up there that people can check out.
Sweet. Awesome. See ya.